Welcome to Artistic Adventures. This is part 4 of our Evil Queen project, and we'll be working on the wig and hairstyle in this video. Also wanted to remind you I'll be drawing tonight for the Kawaii giveaway. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. I'll post the winner tomorrow on that video's description. Okay, let's get started on this wig. So we have our doll's face painted, we have our dress. I made the wig cap, and if you don't know how to do that, I have a video on making wig caps in my wig making series. Check that out. And looks like it fits pretty good. And I've looked at her hairstyle. She does it differently in different videos, but mostly the general rule is she wears it sort of slick on the sides and then pulled up on top of her head where it's looser. And sometimes it's in a part and sometimes it's not. I'm going to put a part in this wig because we didn't put one in the Japanese doll project, and in any event it'll be good to show you guys how to do that if you haven't seen one of my wigs where I do that. Now I'm putting some black around the edge just so if any of that shows through it's with the black hair it won't look that bad. All right, now I'm taking that beautiful black alpaca hair that I had left over from the Japanese doll project, and I'm making a thick bunch of this to go in the part. And this will be so that we can split it open after we get all the other parts done, and it'll give us a nice part. So I just stick that through there, and I glued it down on the side, not right at the seam where it'll seep through and then you'll see it in the part. Okay, now to protect that, I'm just putting some paper towels around it and a piece of tape, and let's get started making this wig. Starting at the back, I just put a row of the E6000 and I put it a little above the edge, and then I press the hair down with my thumb, moving my thumb from the hair up towards the crown so I don't push the glue down so that it shows as at the bottom where the hair might be pulled up. And basically, if you've seen my other wig videos, this is the same procedure. We're just going to keep going around the wig, making rows of hair. I don't weft my hair usually before I make a wig. I did on the Harajuku girl because we were using yarn. I typically just cut it straight across and then place it on there and press it down with my finger. So I want to make sure here in the front that it's very close to the edge, but the glue doesn't show because we may be pulling that up into her updo. All right, and then when we get to that point over the ears, you kind of start angling the hair down instead of toward her face. So that piece is sort of a little bit of both. And then we're going to go over her ears. All of this row going around on the first one, you want to be very careful that you don't get the glue too close to the edge since we're going to have an updo sort of hairdo, and that way it won't show. Now, in the Japanese doll, we put a row of hair underneath and then flipped it up, but that makes it poofier. And her hair, if you look at it, the Evil Queen, her hair on the sides tends to be sort of thick, flat. And so to keep with that look, I'm not going to do the under hair part where you flip it up, because that tends to poof it out more. All right. I don't always know exactly how I'm going to do this till I get to the end, and that should give you some hope. So that if you don't know how to do these things, you can do it too. Basically, you just start, if you start with a good wig that's put together well, you can usually style it in some way, but especially with the alpaca hair because you can use heating products on it like a curling iron and that sort of thing. A lot of people have asked me how I got into this whole doll making thing, and it sort of brings together a lifetime of um, things that I've done and learned how to do. I started sewing when I was at 6 years old. I always wanted to be a fashion designer, but my dad said, go to business school. So I got a BS in business, and then later on in life, I got a master's in nursing and became a nurse practitioner because I really didn't like business, and I thought helping people would be cool. And I did that for a while, and now I'm sort of semi-retired, doing some writing. I do have some books published, and I'm doing this doll thing because I'm using these latent desire that I have to be a fashion designer. And I also always messed with hair. Like in college, I always cut everybody's hair and styled it. And I put their makeup on. I love playing with makeup. And I always painted and, drew things. So I'm kind of using all of those skills now. They've all come together into the doll thing. Um, I once took a book of creative masterpieces when I was in high school and drew every single one of those pictures, like the Mona Lisa and all those pictures. I did them in chalk pastels and hung all the pictures around in our basement. And that was kind of weird, but anyway, it was good practice for drawing. And uh, now I'm getting to the point where I can use all of those making dolls because I can use the drawing skills on her face and my hairdo skills on the wigs and the fashion design and sewing in making costumes. I've also done a lot of other crafts like polymer clay. I'm kind of a schizophrenic artist. I love different learning different things, different techniques. So I've done a lot of different things, and it seems like all of that can be used with dolls. Even the polymer clay I'm using on her shoes and jewelry and things like that. So it's kind of nice that I can use all the skills that I picked up but never put together in a way that produced a finished product like this. And this is fulfilling because you work and you do all these different parts, and then you come up with this final beautiful creation, or at least I think it is, or mine. Um, this doll particularly has been a challenge, but she's just she's just beautiful. I kept telling my husband last night, "Isn't this doll beautiful?" And he would look at me like I was crazy. I kept saying it over and over. Isn't this doll beautiful? All right, so now we've washed her hair and dried it. The wig's complete. I've put it in three pieces. The front part, sort of the middle part is the sides pulled up to the very top, and then the back part is the remainder of the hair pulled up just behind uh, the middle part. And I'm taking that front part and just kind of looping it over to the side. And I'm going to put a bob pin in there to hold it. I'll take it out later once I get the whole hairdo finished and I put some spray on it. But for now, I'll put it there to hold it. And I wrapped the end of that front part around the middle bunch and pinned it. And now I'm going to take the back part and twist it and make a bun. And then I'll pin that with bob pins underneath to hold it. And then we're going to take that middle part and just put a lot of curls in it. Some of these pictures, it looks like she has the hair pulled up and then curled, and then it's sort of fixed into a hairstyle from the curls. So what I'm doing is I'm curling it with a little small curling iron. I use this a lot on my dolls, and I'm not letting the curl fall out. I'm keeping the curl tight because I'm going to put bob pins in the bottom of the curls and hold them in place, and that'll be her updo hairstyle. I have some little bob pins that I bought, I think it on eBay. No, maybe they were from Etsy. If you search for doll bob pins, they're about an inch long, I guess, maybe an inch and a fourth. There's really too big still for the small Monster High, but they're perfect for this size doll. You're you're able to put them in and sort of hide them just like you would. Now I took that one side out and sprayed it with some hairspray so the bob pin doesn't show on the side. And I'm just going back through and putting bob pins on the bases of those curls, those little sausage curls, to keep them in place. And I will put a coat of hairspray over the whole thing when I finish. And you want to make sure and hold the hairspray far away so it doesn't make little droplets on the hair. This alpaca hair is just so beautiful. It's some of the prettiest I've ever used. So there she is with her finished hairdo. This was really a different one, but I think it turned out well, and she's starting to really look like the evil queen. How about that? So here she is from every side, so you can get a look at how the finished product looks, and hopefully it'll stay in place till we get this doll finished. Yay, there she is with her wig. So we still have a lot to do. We're going to have one more video in this series. We're going to make her necklace. We're going to do some things to her sleeves that I forgot and put that collar back on so you see the full picture. Subscribe so you don't miss a thing.